What's up? So the console update 1.00060 just rolled out, bringing the latest set of fixes and polish from Riot's patch 11.11 to consoles. It might look small at first glance, but this update actually packs a bunch of meaningful little tweaks that make matches smoother, cleaner, and less frustrating. It's not one of those updates that turns the entire meta on its head, but it's the kind that quietly makes your games feel better without you even realizing why. Let's talk about what actually changed, why it matters, and what kind of impact it's going to have when you jump into your next few matches. The first big note is the addition of VP gifting on PC. It's not gameplay related, but it's one of those long requested quality of life features that just makes the ecosystem friendlier. Now you can actually gift Valorant points to a friend instead of having to buy them a prepaid card or go through some roundabout way. It's a small thing, but for players who love sharing skins or giving their duo partner a new bundle, it's a nice touch. Riot's clearly positioning this as a kind of community-friendly upgrade, and it fits right into the time of year when people are buying each other stuff anyway. Now, onto the fixes that actually change how the game feels to play. One of the biggest adjustments in this patch hits Cypher. There was a bug where enemy positions could briefly show up on the minimap when they really shouldn't have been visible. If you play at a high level, that kind of information leak could easily swing around. That's now fixed, which means teams can rely on cleaner intel flow without weird moments of accidental reveals. It's the kind of fix that won't make highlight reels, but it restores competitive integrity in subtle but important ways. Then we've got Jett getting some love. There was an annoying issue where she could get stuck midair around ledges or boxes. That's fixed now, which means all those clutch movement plays you love pulling off should feel more consistent. No more dying to the map geometry when you were trying to make a slick updraft play. It's small, but for people who main her or rely on her for fast entries, it's going to feel so much smoother. Clove also got a handful of targeted fixes that clean up the visuals and behavior around her abilities. Things like her revive skill not syncing properly with UI indicators or lingering overheal visuals have been resolved. Now, when Clove uses her abilities, what you see is actually what's happening in-game. That's a big deal for anyone who's ever lost track of when their revive was available or if an ability was still active. You'll feel a lot more confident making plays knowing the information on your screen is accurate. There are also several smaller fixes that touch on other agents like Harbor, Phoenix, Reyna, and Sky. Things like misbehaving ability indicators, inconsistent ability durations, or incorrect interactions with map geometry. These aren't flashy balance changes, but they're the type of small repairs that collectively make the game's systems behave the way they were meant to from day one. You can expect fewer wait, that shouldn't have happened moments, which is always good news in a tactical shooter. The map fix on Haven deserves a mention too. There was a problem with a wall penetration spot near A-Link, where players could abuse an odd angle to get unfair shots or peek through parts of the wall. That's now fixed, closing off another weird exploit spot in an effort that never should have existed. You might not notice the change immediately, but the next time you hold that position, you'll realize it just feels right. No weird bullets slipping through where they shouldn't. It's another step toward keeping the maps fair and predictable, which matters so much in ranked and competitive play. There are also several visual and spectator-related fixes sprinkled throughout the patch. If you've ever watched streams or tournaments and noticed ability icons not lining up or overheal bars behaving weirdly, those moments should be gone now. Riot's cleaned up how those elements display so that what spectators see matches what players are actually experiencing. It's not the kind of change that most players will consciously notice, but it's a big win for clarity, especially for people who create content or shoutcast matches. I know there's the small known issue that Riot mentioned. A ranked gun buddy might show the wrong name in your collection. It's purely cosmetic, and the buddy itself is safe and functioning as normal. It just displays a placeholder name that'll get corrected in a future patch. So don't panic if you notice it. It's not your inventory bugging out or losing anything. It's just a temporary labeling hiccup. Overall, this patch is all about tightening screws and keeping the experience consistent. The big takeaway is reliability. Fewer glitches, less confusion, and more predictability. Movement bugs, minimap leaks, visual errors, weird geometry, all of that stuff chips away at your confidence when playing because it makes you question if the game is behaving the way it should. Fixing those things doesn't make flashy headlines, but it directly improves how satisfying and fair Valorant feels. It's also nice to see Riot keeping smaller updates like this frequent, especially at the end of the year. It signals that they're paying attention to polish and not just saving all their energy for the big seasonal drops. When a game's been out as long as Valorant, maintenance patches like this are what keep it feeling fresh. They don't shake up the meta, but they keep the foundation strong. So when you log in after installing this update, you probably won't notice any new mechanics or massive gameplay changes, but you will notice that everything just feels a little cleaner. Abilities behave more predictably, Maps don't have as many odd interactions, and those frustrating bugs that make you shout mid-match are a bit rarer. It's one of those updates that fades into the background, but if you've been playing for a while, you'll definitely feel the difference. And honestly, that's the beauty of a good maintenance patch. You don't realize how much it helps until you go a few sessions without hitting a single weird bug or unfair glitch. Valorant feels a bit sharper, smoother, and more polished now, and that's exactly what an update like this should do.